Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jayadi if you're new here, and thank you so much for clicking on a whole new episode of A Brown Girl's Guide. I'm so excited to be filming for you guys in the new year because on Brown Girl's Guide we have been yet to catch up, and we definitely have a lot of new topics and a lot of new discussion points to catch up on. First of all, some life updates. It's taken me a little while to film a new Brown Girl's Guide video just because getting back to full-time work, my schedule has been extremely hectic. I did not imagine work to be as hectic as it is, and having to work a little bit extra hours here and there as well. So I'm really sorry about that delay, but just know that I am back better than ever and excited to keep talking to you guys. If you're new to the Brown Girl's Guide series, hello, welcome. Here we talk about all things brown culture, cultural struggles, trends, and helping each other out, basically navigating life. Being back at full-time work and just having a busy schedule on a day-to-day basis, catching up with people, catching up with life, it has been so stressful lately, which has brought me to the topic of today's video, that is handling stress. Handling stress as a brown person is so difficult, you guys, because I feel like ever since we're young, we're told to kind of romanticize a stressful lifestyle, which is honestly not healthy if you really think about it. But we're all subjects to that because that's just how life is. We all have to work, we all have to stay connected with each other, we all have to prioritize our health, prioritize our hobbies, and between all of that, we also need to make sure that we're getting enough sleep and rest for ourselves so that we can repeat that cycle on a daily basis. As always, I'm going to go through 4 discussion points today of how you can be handling stress, and you don't have to be brown to be able to enjoy this video. But if you need some good tips, then make sure to subscribe right now and like this video so you can continue getting cool tips like this. But let's just get straight into it. My first tip on handling stress definitely has to be identifying your stresses. What is it in your daily life that is stressing you out? What do you feel like is overwhelming you on a day-to-day basis? And how can you best manage that? Before we get to the how, the first part is to identify what it is. Is it something that's important? Is it an important stress that you can't really neglect? Or is it a type of stress that you're taking on unnecessarily? Now, even when you're at your job and you're doing work on a daily basis, you have a million tasks assigned to you. It is your responsibility as a person to make sure that you're not taking other people's work onto yourself. So if you have a checklist, a to-do list at work, as I'm sure many of us do, make sure to have a double look at it and think that, hey, am I doing somebody else's work here, or am I just doing my work and then helping out people if I have time available? A lot of the times with the pressures at work, we can feel overwhelmed to identify the fact that sometimes certain things are genuinely not our responsibility, and people might be trying to offload things from their plate and put it onto your plate. So it's really important to identify, is this something that's really important for me to get done, or is somebody just chucking on their load of work onto me? Now, work is a key example of this, but this can be on your day-to-day life as well. Maybe if it's your social circle and you feel like you're the one who's always making the plans, you're the one who's always doing organization, then how about give other people a chance to do that? Because you never know, they might have ideas of their own, but they're just so used to relying on you that they don't ever end up initiating anything. Make sure that if you're the one who's always organizing things or always planning stuff for people, then that's a great thing, but just know that the other person has to meet you halfway through and help you plan equally as much. Another way to identify your stresses can be this whole idea that we have to live a really healthy lifestyle, which is an amazing thing, but just know that your version of a healthy lifestyle may differ from somebody else's. If somebody's lifestyle is to go to the gym every single day, then that's really amazing. But if that doesn't fit into your schedule, and if you're struggling, if it's exhausting you, then it's okay to cut down to maybe 3 to 4 days a week. It's okay to nurture your schedule according to your own needs, and needs are constantly changing, you guys. One day you might have plenty of time to go to the gym every single day, but maybe a couple several months down the road, you don't have plenty of time to do that. So make sure that you're updating your schedule according to yourself and how you're feeling, along with how your life is looking like at that time. Once you get used to identifying your stresses, you realize there are so many things on your day-to-day life or your to-do list that are really not your responsibility or you're stressing about for no reason. Sometimes it's okay to offload to have a little bit of downtime for yourself, because stress is such a romanticized concept, especially in our culture, and if something is really truly not serving you, then it does not deserve to be on your to-do list. My second tip actually relates to to-do lists because it's all about organization. Once you've sorted through what it is that you exactly need to get done, whether it's work related, health related, lifestyle related, anything that it has to be, it's really important to stay organized. When you're not organized and you're running through a million thoughts in your head, then you're bound to be 10 times more stressed out than you actually need to be. So if you haven't ever made a to-do list, it's time to start doing that right now. But I'm sure that most of us do that. I will give you some other organizational tips that has helped me come really far when it comes to stress management. When I tell you Google Calendar is going to be your best friend, I am not joking, you guys. Put everything onto your Google Calendar, whether it's your work, whether it's your social life, whether it's your appointments, anything that it is. Get onto Google Calendar, put it on there, and you can even share your calendar with your friends, family, loved ones, whoever it is who needs to see what your schedule is looking like. And once other people also have a visual of what your schedule looks like, then they're more likely to understand and kind of book your time out or give you some time and space to figure your stuff out before you get back to them. I think Google Calendar has literally saved my life. I would not remember the things that go on my day-to-day life, whether it's tomorrow or next week, if it wasn't for Google Calendar. And it's such a great way of planning your life. Also, at the end of like a year or like a few months, you can look back and think, wow, I did so much, and be so proud of yourself for getting through that. Because when you see how organized you've been in the past and gotten through really tough moments in your life, whenever you have stressful periods of time coming ahead, you will always look back at that time and think, yes, I can do this. Another way to stay organized is actually to constantly plan ahead. If you're making plans, start making plans a month or 2 weeks ahead, because that will give you a visual of what your plans look like in the future. If you're not somebody who likes virtual calendars and things like that, even though I feel like that's where the world is headed or is in right now, but even physical calendars are so cool, whether you want to make them in a scrapbook style or if you have like a diary that you keep up with. You can get such cute diaries that are affordable from places like Target, Kmart, Officeworks, or even Amazon online that help you plan out your day-to-day life for a whole year ahead. It's so important to keep up with that as well if you're somebody who likes to look at things physically. The third point I want to talk about when it comes to handling stress is actually communication. A lot of times we don't want to disappoint people, or we're afraid to say the word no, and I feel like that's a whole other topic of its own that I can explore. So if you guys want me to explore the art of saying no, then definitely we can do that on another episode. But when it comes to clear communication, it's really the key to handling your level of stress as well. If you're not able to take on one more task on your plate because it's already so full, just say no. Just say, I'm already overwhelmed, or hey, I can't do this right now, I will need more time. When you communicate that with people, they will understand. When you show them how busy you are, when you show them all the different things in your life that you're working towards, whether it's at work or whether it's your personal life, then people will understand if you just clearly and honestly communicate. Because think about the last time somebody said no to you because they've been really busy, like genuinely busy. Have you gotten upset with them? I wouldn't think so. I don't think that any normal human being can get upset with somebody for having a lot on their plate, because we're just so empathetic and understanding as individuals, and no person in this life is not busy, you guys. Everybody has something going on, whether it's school, whether it's uni, whether it's work, whether it's whatever it is that's going on. You're running your own business, whatever it is that you do. Every single person in this life is extremely busy. So when you genuinely communicate to someone how stressed out you are, then they're so likely to understand. If somebody is taking your level of stress as you being lazy, then that person does not deserve your time of day. If you have expressed to somebody that you're overwhelmed and you feel like you have a lot going on and you're drowning, and they give you a very snarky response saying that, hey, this is life, or what do you expect, everybody's like that, and if they're genuinely not understanding or empathetic of you, honestly, cut communication with them and don't make plans with them. Don't try to help them out, because that person is clearly not willing to help you out. Why should you do the same for them? A lot of times we forget how impactful clear communication is when it comes to stress management. So the moment you start communicating honestly and truly what's on your mind and what you're truly feeling, then the more likely you are to get help from people around you and to get a lot more understanding from the people around you. My fourth and final point for stress management is actually self-care. Now, to some of you guys that might come off really cliche, and it's a cliche for a reason, because when you're stressed out, you do need to take care of yourself. You do need to set time aside to just relax, to clear your mind, to not think about anything that could be overwhelming you. Whether it's just watching some Netflix in your bed or your couch, or it's doing a hobby that you really love that calms you, such as dance, painting, reading, whatever it is. Make time for things that you love. Make time for your downtime. Because a lot of people might make you feel bad for having downtime or think that you're being lazy, but that's genuinely how you're going to regroup and recenter yourself to take on the next big task. If you don't have enough downtime for yourself, you will feel so overburdened and so overstressed that it's going to cause a lot of anxiety for you, and it's honestly going to lead you to a lot of pain. You genuinely don't owe anyone any explanations for your downtime, and I feel like in this society, we actually need downtime to be more romanticized than we need a overworking culture to be romanticized. People always show their busy lifestyles with work or all these social activities going on, but very rarely do people show that you're just grabbing your dinner, you're sitting in front of the TV, and you're eating and watching something that just calms you. Because those things might come across boring, but those are the things that help you regroup and feel like yourself again. Or even if it is just having hours long conversations with your friends or family, sometimes just conversation about random things that you love can help you feel so much better and forget about the different stresses in your life. If you feel like your day-to-day activities have consumed you so much that you don't even get to do the little things that you love, say maybe if you love putting makeup on and it's been weeks since you've put makeup on because of how busy you've been, then take 20 minutes for yourself to just do your makeup and feel like your best self again. Because when you're feeling like your best self, you feel ready to conquer anything in this life. Another really important aspect of self-care that we often neglect is reflection, and reflection can come by journaling, it can come by having a conversation with yourself in the mirror, or having a conversation with someone you really love and trust. Reflecting on your lifestyle and seeing if this kind of lifestyle is what suits you, what kind of stresses do you think drive and motivate you versus what actually drains you, and how you can make that better for yourself. That sense of reflection is extremely important so that you know that you're not stuck in a stressful loop, and that the work that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, whether it's personal related, professional related, is something that's actually giving you a lot of drive and ambition. Because it's really important to think about the fact that the things that stress you out aren't actually draining you emotionally and mentally, and it's not something that you actually don't want to do. I feel like especially people who are really stressed out or busy all the time forget to reflect on what their life is looking like because they're scared to admit things even to themselves, and it's really important to start being honest with yourself. What is actually pushing you towards the person that you want to become versus what is driving you away? So if you're somebody who's been neglecting your self-care for a while, then this is your sign, whether it's to get outdoors, go for a walk, go for a run, clear your head and start being truthful with yourself, because then you will see that stress management gets so much easier, and start saying no to those things that are actually not serving you at all. Alright guys, and that brings us to the end of this episode on a brown girl's guide to handling stress. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it around with your friends. Also comment down below how you guys handle stress and whether you agreed with my tips tips, or if there's any other tips that you want to share. I want to continue building our community together and help support one another. Just know that this is a safe space and we can all be friends with each other. Make sure to subscribe right now if you haven't done so already. And with that, I think I will end the video off here. If you have any other brown girl guide video requests, please comment it down below, because like I said, this is a group discussion, you guys, so feel free to take part in it. Hope that you guys aren't feeling way too stressed out. If you ever need any support from me, I'm always a comment or DM away. Always feel free to reach out. Please follow me on my other platforms, TikTok and Instagram. It's Jayadi's camera roll everywhere. Alright guys, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!